The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. Star Wars, anyone? I knew my quest for the 4-hour workweek was working when my daughter's kindergarten teacher asked her the question, "What kind of work does your father do?" As the teacher retold the story back to me, it was my daughter's answer that really struck a chord. Your daughter turned and looked up at me with the most serious look on her face and said, "My dad just sits around and watches Star Wars all day." It's funny how this one simple question, and not to mention my daughter's answer, would be the moment of true 4HWW self-awareness for me. You see, the answer my daughter gave her teacher has a deeper meaning. I believe what she meant to say, if she could articulate it, was my dad sort of does whatever he wants to do. I read the 4HWW almost 2 years ago when I was on vacation at the beach with my family. I remember it well, because I kept reading parts of the book to my wife, bothering her to no end. I am a developer and enterprise administrator for a large financial institution in Atlanta, Georgia. Part of my job is supporting the large complex document capture systems that I help build. Due to the importance of these systems, I am expected to be reachable July the 24th, 36:5. That is good for job security, but can be bad for my family life. I have 4 beautiful children and I strive to be a true hands-on dad who is present in my family's daily lives. So armed with your book and a fresh, ocean air perspective, I set out to put many of the 4HWW principles into practice. First, I worked on changing my email habits. I took a hard look at my inbox and used several of the techniques outlined in the 4HWW to eliminate all the waste and noise. I formed new habits around batching my email sessions, and it didn't take long to achieve a zero inbox using the trusted trio folder method. I also applied the less is more philosophy to composing my emails. I went to great lengths to ensure I am as clear and concise as possible, only communicating exactly what is needed to the right audience and not to the world. By eliminating all the noise and fat from my email diet, it became much more clear what actions or to-dos were important. Meetings and conference calls were the next area of attack. I scrutinized each meeting invite and began declining requests left and right. Most of the time I would claim I had too much going on to attend. I started asking for the minutes of the meeting or for someone to email me if they had a specific question I needed to answer. When I do attend a meeting, it is almost always via a conference call. Due to conference room restrictions and geographic challenges in our company, most of our meetings are done virtually anyway. Less wasted time meant more time to focus on work and tasks that really mattered. I felt like I was doing less but getting more things done and with better results. The right people were starting to notice, and the perception of my ability to get the job done had never been better. I was making my management look good, and when that happens they stop asking questions or micromanaging daily activities. I kept proving to them I can do it without interference. Now was the time to make the push for what I really wanted, and that was to go virtual. Going virtual was actually very easy. I had a solid foundation with my manager and others in the chain of command. Almost all of my daily work was already remote ready. At home, I have a great dedicated office in our finished basement. It is situated well away from the rest of the house and is mostly free of distractions. I have my own bathroom with shower, and I even have a mini fridge and microwave. I dare say that my home office rivals the amenities of the top executives at my company. Most of all, I have a wife and family that totally understand and respect the rules I set for myself to continue this success. At first, I worked 1 or 2 days a week from home, but it didn't take long before I found myself working 4 out of 5 days a week from home. When the Southeast was hit by the gas shortage and the price of gas nationwide was cresting $4 a gallon, the company made working from home even more accepted and official. I became an overnight model for others to follow. As people around me were in a panic as to how to get to work when no gas could be found, I was happily working away at home, just business as usual. At this point, things were working better than I ever expected. Using my 4-HWW skills, I now had more time to be that hands-on dad I wanted to be. I became a regular up at the elementary school. I eat lunch in the cafeteria with my girls, especially on fried chicken day. I participate in a program called DER, which stands for Drop Everything and Read, where a few times a month I come in and read to each class. I drive my kids to school and I get to see them when they come home. For my entire family, I am present in their everyday lives, and can't put a price on that. I felt like I had achieved my goal. That was that. So I thought. Other things started to happen. Without conscientiously knowing it, people around me at the school or church had a weird respect for me. I say weird because people literally mistook me as a doctor or just some sort of self-made millionaire. I am not kidding. There is this one guy who still calls me Doc. I guess the reason for this is because most people still cling to the old stereotypes of what they think it is to be rich. I always seem to show up for the school functions or just special days at the school, usually in casual attire and never obsessing over time or my BlackBerry. Now I have people nominating me for things like committee chair on the PTA, and just recently I was elected to the board of directors at our local swim/tennis club. The cool thing is, I actually have the time to do those things and still be effective at work and at home. It goes without saying that new doors are open to me now, more than ever before. With all of this going on around me, I still come back to what my daughter said to her teacher. In truth, I am at a point where if I wanted to sit around and watch Star Wars all day, I certainly could. But I find myself filling the extra time now doing things that really mean something. Being present in the everyday lives of my family, helping my community, or volunteering at my church. Now I have a plan to take it to the next level and write my own book. The project I am working on is called the Virtual Employee Handbook. It is a collection of tips and how-tos on all the tools that are essential to the modern virtual employee, like me. We will see how that goes. One thing I do know is that I wouldn't even dream of what I am doing now if it wasn't for the 4-hour work week. W. Higgins.